For this assignment, I am going to deconstruct a YouTube video from Derek Waters' series Drunk History. The one that I've selected is about Sybil Ludington's Midnight Ride, and before I press play, I'll just provide a little bit of background and context on what this series is and how it came about. In an interview that Derek Waters gave on NPR in July of 2014, on my mom's birthday actually, he described, or the show is described as people recounting genuine historical facts or events while sloshed, and actors dressed up in period clothing reenacting the drunk person's story. I will just point to an interview that Derek Waters gave almost exactly 1 year earlier to the New York Times, in which it is added that each episode includes multiple tales based on a particular geographic location. So going back to the one that I have selected, I am going to show you Sybil Ludington's Midnight Ride while providing some deconstruction along the way. This video definitely connects to my own personal interest in humor communications, and it also ties in with several of the major themes in our class, including representation and the creative process.
So it's early on in the Revolution, and the British are tearing through the colonies. Blah, blah. Sybil Ludington just had her 16th birthday. Her dad, Henry Ludington, is the head of the local militia, fending off the British. So on this particular night, she's tucking in her brothers and sisters, and all of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. This man is at the door. Oh my God, he's so out of breath.
So this is the first point at which you may realize that the narrator is speaking and the characters on screen are going to be basically lip syncing along with what the character is saying.
The British are burning Danbury, Connecticut. Okay.
And that's the first time that you actually see the narrator in this particular clip. So I'm just going to go back so that you can see her again. This is the woman who is telling the story. You can see she's got a drink in her hand that actually looks to be maybe the iced tea or lemonade that Derek Waters typically serves once the narrator has gotten good and drunk enough to tell the story. One thing I'm going to say about this female narrator is going to a piece that I read from a person who actually is a URI graduate, Marfa. I did not know that when I originally read this piece, but she is arguing that drunk history is the best place on TV to be a woman right now. And one of the reasons that she gives is that the narrators are authorities. So instead of being ridiculed, she says women are authorities. So I want you to keep that in mind as we continue watching this particular woman narrate this incident in history.
Okay, so Henry Ludington is like, I need to go knock on every door, get our militia, and save our country.
So part of what makes this humorous, I believe, is in this particular instance, it's obviously a female narrator, and every time there's a male actor on screen, you can tell that he is lip syncing what a female is saying.
Well, here's the thing though. I have to stay here to rally the troops and make the plan. It's not like you can send an Evite out, so who's gonna do it?
In thinking about the complex creative process for a show like this, I want to first point to the part of the creative process that Derek Waters cited in both of these interviews that he provided in the past 2 years, which is that he and the guy who plays Nick on New Girl were drunk one night, and the guy who plays Nick on New Girls was making an argument about history. And it occurred to Derek Waters that it's funny when people who are drunk are trying to explain history, and he wanted to make history more fun. He's talking about that right here. He also talks about a history teacher that he had who he thinks made history less boring. So keeping that in mind, we will return to our video here, thinking about the creative process.
I'll do it. Comes a peep from the night. Hey. Blah, blah. I got it.
That's another thing that happens sometimes in the episodes is the narrator is kind of either burping or doing what my sixth grade teacher would have called a word whisker, and the actors incorporate that into their lip syncing. And that's part of the humor. I will just also add here that part of the humor I think is the juxtaposition of drinking, history, and highly produced media. So this does not look like it was done in a garage. It's very professionally created, and that part of the creative process is important, I think, to the comedic factor because it seems incongruous for this type of thing to be produced this well.
Sybil comes peeping down the night. Her dad's like, she's 16 years old. She's a girl. It's a hard ass night outside. It's 40 miles. Well, we don't have a better option. So, yeah, we're gonna let her do it. She sets out into the night.
So also part of the humor is that the narrator is using usually relaxed language to describe an important historical event. And normally, or typically, historical events are described in kind of stodgy ways through textbooks or professors who are excited about passing down knowledge, but that excitement comes off as monotony to many students. So to see history recreated and told by a drunk person is a new way to share an event. And just returning quickly to Amam Arfo's analysis that she did here, she's writing that instead of being dangerous, it's completely safe, and the females who are telling the stories, again, are authorities. And then this other piece I will point to before we watch Sybil Ludington in action in this story is that women are revered, and she points out that females in history have benefited a great deal from this method of drunk history, giving us new insight into stories we know and finding ways to share stories that we might not know as well. So I'm gonna send us back to this video.
So guess what happens? It starts raining. Well, snap. It's raining, it's like windy trails and boulders. She grabs a stick and she's whacking it on all the doors she passes by. She's like, the British are coming! The British are coming! You have to follow me! Come back to the Ludington! And if you're not coming, then you're another go! This is the moment where I'm like, oh, I really am drunk.
Okay, so if you like drunk history, you can catch it on Hulu or YouTube. And if you're interested in humor research communications or humor communications research, you can always stop by my Pinterest board where I collect articles and essays and different things that relate to humor research. Thanks for watching.